Hi everyone, Ian Marsh here, and look, today I'm really excited to share some knowledge with you from someone that I met not that long ago, to tell you the truth. I think it was around about October or November that I met this amazing lady, and what she's accomplished with her life in such a very short time has just impressed the heck out of me, that I asked her if she could share her story, because I think there are many individuals out there that will relate to what we're just about to talk about. And again, I'm not going to steal the thunder, but what I would want you to understand is a lesson. And this is the reason why I'm doing this interview right now. The lesson is that you can have the life that you want, but you've got to be willing to go out there and get it. And the lady I'm about to say hello to has grasped that concept with both her hands, and with no more introduction, I'm just going to welcome Saffron to the call. How are you, Saffron?
Hi, Ian. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. I'm living in God's country up in the Gold Coast, so, there's no way I can complain. But, God, it's a beautiful day up here. Now, Saffron, look, thank you.
They actually call...
Go ahead.
Just about to say, they actually call Port Stephens God's country as well, which is so I'm very lucky to.
Is that right? Well, we could flip a coin, because I know they're both beautiful places. The bottom line is we both live in Australia, and so we're just very lucky to live here, I reckon. So, look, Saffron, thank you for taking time out. I understand you actually had some appointments that you've just postponed a little bit to be on this interview, and I do appreciate that. But look, there are a lot of people out there that I believe you can help by sharing your story with them, and letting them know just a little about what's happened to you, essentially where you came from and where you are now, and also be great to hear about where you're headed. Be spectacular. So I was just hoping if you could share with our viewers a little bit about who you are and I guess where you came from, Saffron.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, I didn't go to university or anything like that. I left school when I was 16. I actually went to college and studied economics. Didn't like it. Kind of flunked out of that. And just fell into becoming a secretary. I was a legal secretary for years, and by the time I was about 30, I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. And I left that job and didn't have anything to go to, which was, I don't know, some people might say that was a bit of a silly decision, but I'm all for the belief that if you're not enjoying what you're doing, then kind of do something about it.
Yeah, good on you. And so where did you go to after you actually finished doing the sort of administration role? What did you jump into next?
Yeah, so I was living in Essex and working in London, and that was about there and back, probably about a 3-hour journey a day. So, and I had a young child at the time, so I just wanted to do something that was closer to home. So I started looking through my local newspaper, and there was all these kind of job headlines saying earn £1,000 a week, and I could do that. It was sales jobs, and I remember my mum said to me, "Oh, that's going to be a scam." But anyway, I went for the job, and turns out it was a little bit of a scam.
Mother's no best, Saffron. Okay, mother's no best. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to tell my children as well. But the good thing, I mean, I do believe everything happens for a reason. And the good thing about doing that job was that I could then say that I had some sales experience. And I saw a job advertised for, it was a sales position with British Telecom, because they have it's like the Yellow Pages that you've got here. And that was selling advertising. So I went for that job. It was a very tough interview, 3-hour interview, but wow. I didn't want to, it was tough. but I didn't want to get beaten. So I actually got the job, and I went on a two-week residential training course. And to cut quite a long story short, I really enjoyed working for British Telecom, and I did very well. I mean, I was the top rep in my region for weeks and weeks on end, if not months, I think. So,
what do you think caused you to become the top rep, Saffron?
Sorry?
What do you think caused you to actually become the top rep there?
I think number one, doing that residential training course, there was a system, and so I just followed the system, and also I think that I wasn't. I mean, there's salespeople and there's salespeople, and I think that people. I mean, I really care about getting people results. So, and that I think that really across the people that I really actually cared about their business, because a lot of people that I came across experiences with advertising. So, I was driven by actually getting people results. So, and I think people buy from people that they like as well. So I think my personality was I was actually quite a shy person. So I was taking myself out of my comfort zone to actually even do a job like that. So, but I think that kind of quietness, people seem to like that rather than the kind of brash.
You are a very genuine person. I felt that as soon as the first time that I saw you. Actually. So you were at doing essentially yellow pages for the Aussies. They'll exactly understand what that is. And then I think you migrate to Australia after that?
Yes, so I was in that job for about 5 years, and I actually grew to hate that job because it was I loved working with the businesses, but it was really pressurised, and a lot of people that I was working with actually had breakdowns and long periods of time off work. So when I came to Australia, I sort of promised myself I was never going to do sales again.
Okay.
But that changed.
Well, again, it's an interesting fact about having to work for someone. A lot of, especially big companies, people are just treated like a number, and you've got to crunch out that end result, and they don't care about the consequences. I do see that quite a bit. But you saw the light. You came to Australia, and we welcomed you with open arms. So what did you do when you got here to Australia?
Yeah, so when I got to Australia, I wanted to get into a completely different kind of work because, like as I said before, I believe that if you're not happy in what you're doing, then you need to do something about that and change it. So I'd always wanted to work with children, so I trained into childcare and I did family daycare. And while I was doing family daycare, I actually, because I moved into Port Stephens not long after I came to Australia, and while I was doing family daycare, I knew that there was lots of things to do in the area for families and children, but there was nowhere where you could really find out that information. So I put together a magazine and a website for families. So the childcare evolved into publishing a local magazine, which
Oh, well, I took my hat off to you. Yeah, so you did that all off your own bat, did you?
Yeah. I mean, I'd definitely never published a magazine before. Yeah. I mean, the sales background came in handy because funding the magazine meant finding advertisers. So I kind of then found myself slipped back into that selling, advertising and sales. But yeah, no, it was completely different because I wasn't being pressurised. It was actually something I loved doing. I loved helping businesses and finding out what how businesses were doing in the local area and trying to actually find out ways to help them. So yeah, it's very, very rewarding.
Well, again, that took courage, but you saw a need and you said, well, why the heck not? Which is sadly, a lot of people, they have these ideas in their heads and they really would love to do them, but a lot of people actually don't act on them. But something else happened then. Another change in your life happened when you got to Port Stephens. Would you just mind sharing with our viewers what occurred there?
Yeah, so it's actually not long after I came to Australia that the relationship that I was in was, you know, it's quite emotionally abusive. So the relationship broke down, and so that was quite a tough time. And what I've always found is that when someone's telling me I can't do something, and when someone's kind of emotionally affecting me in that way, I do better. So, and I was using that energy to kind of what I was doing.
Okay. Spurs you on when they say you can't do it. You say, "I'll show you." Is that what you'd sort of say?
Yeah. And that goes back. That kind of goes back years. And yeah, I found that was my driving. That was kind of my driving force at that time.
So you're in a new country. You and your husband have parted ways. You've got I think 2 children. Yeah.
Yes, 2 children.
2 children, and so you've got to actually make ends meet on your own now. I hope you got the good child support and the other things that to make life okay. How much of a challenge was it for you as you actually had to, I guess, make your own future rather than have your husband there with you to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it was very tough because when you go from being in that situation, you've got double income, to go into a situation where you've really only got one income, because you mentioned child support and stuff like that, but I wanted to put myself in a position where I could support myself and my family. So yeah, I mean that was, and also the magazine, I was publishing the magazine still, but my magazine started really as a hobby. So it kind of had to go quite quickly from being a hobby to something that was producing an income for me.
So you were surviving off this basic hobby, trying to support your family off that. Was that right?
Yeah, I was surviving off very little, I can say, and yeah, so that was hard. I mean, and I didn't want to be one of those parents that was always saying, "Oh, you can't have this because we don't have this money," and like checking labels all the time. You know, I wanted to go from, I wanted my children I wanted to be a role model for my children. So yeah, I mean that was important to me as well. So my driving force went from trying to, because I was always trying to prove myself to people, and I kind of discovered that I didn't need to do that anymore. So it went from that to, my mission was to have enough income to support my family and have the life that I want, and also because I was working really hard on the magazine. I was working probably more than 5 days a week. So I was working 6 days a week, long hours, kind of wasn't generating the revenue that I wanted. So my goal was to have a quality of life as well.
So what sort of ballpark income were you having to survive on? If you don't mind sharing that, Saffron, what were we looking at?
Probably around 50,000.
Wow. That's tough, and understand
people.
Yeah, my mum obviously raised 2 children as well, Saffron. That's actually why I resonated with you when I heard the story, when I first met you, because I knew what my mum had to do to make ends meet and try and do the best for her children, which is, mothers just do that. It's just quite amazing, the effort. Now, so how long did you go on like that for? You got that sort of income, and how long were you struggling on that sort of money for, before you met me?
Yeah, probably about years. And then, you know, I got to the point where I was like, right, I need to do something about this. I was really ready to do something about it. Unfortunately for me, I had a friend that because I was actually looking for a business advisor myself, because I didn't really know how to take my magazine business from where it was to where it needed to be. So just by pure chance, I ended up at one of your business schools, and then that's where the story began for me.
Well, I tell you, you see a person with a mission, you see someone with a fire in their eye. When you saw me, because you heard about the results that my advisors have gotten and how it's changed many of their lives, I still remember that moment when you actually came up to me. You just looked me in the eye and you said, "I want to be a business advisor." And I said, "Oh, really?" Because you know I'm quite selective with who I take on, Saffron. And honestly, after having a chat, I was very, let's just say, concerned, because you actually didn't have a lot of money behind you, did you? When you met me, it wasn't as if you were left with a massive payout and a fantastic divorce to leave with a big lump sum to dwell on. That wasn't exactly the case, was it? No.
No, that wasn't the case at all. No.
So why were you so hopeful then to become join me and become a business advisor? Because you were so passionate when you saw me. What was that passion about?
Well, when I came to business school, I was blown. I mean, business school, obviously, you're surrounded by businesses that are part of your environment, and you can see that they're successful at what they do. And, obviously I chatted to some of the business advisors as well, and I just wanted what they had. Because I could sell. I mean, I've been, I've been scammed before. I've been internet scammed with certain things, but I mean, it was just, I mean, you say I'm genuine, but it was just, to me, that was a genuine environment where people were truly like enjoying success, and that was the kind of success that I wanted. So I was quite emotional about it. I came home and I thought, right, this is what I want. So I was really determined.
Yeah, I heard the passion. I really, because you don't take this responsibility lightly. When someone largely puts their life savings and trusts you to help with the knowledge, and you remember I did ask you when you said that you wanted to be an advisor. I said, "Will you do exactly what I asked you to do?" Do you remember that question, Saffron?
Yeah, definitely do. Yeah. Because I mean, you said if you do exactly what I tell you to do, then you will succeed.
Yeah.
And I believe you.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you did, Saffron. But look. Here's the thing that's quite amazing. So I did take you on. I worked with you and started sharing the knowledge. But this is where the story gets spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. So Saffron actually did do as I asked her to do, and she didn't waste any time about it. In fact, when she finished the training, how long did it take you to get your first client there, Saffron?
Well, I actually got my first client while I was training.
God, I tell you, that's just fantastic. That first client, what were they involved in? What sort of business were they in?
They're involved in landscaping and earth moving.
Right. Okay. And then from there, it didn't stop there. What sort of have you ever done any business consult? Had any formal training that we haven't covered off here? Did you have some secret PhD or MBA hiding in the top drawer, Saffron?
No, that's your life.
Yeah. Well, you got this client, and they're quite a large sand and soil and landscaping business, but it didn't stop there. And then you went on to get even more clients. I remember you saying, "Ian, problem. All these people, they want me to help them, but I'm struggling for time because I want to spend time with my family as well." So how many clients have you actually got now, Saffron?
I've got four clients now, and I wanted 3, so my goal was 3 clients, and I've just signed up another one, so I find it difficult to say no.
Yeah, well, you care, you like me, and they're better with you in it. Now, Here's the thing that I love though as well, is you also know what you want, Saffron. And this is what I keep spending most of my time with my students and my clients, helping them try to understand what they want. And you, your family is so important to you, your children are so important to you. So part of becoming an advisor was so you could actually control your lifestyle as well and work out when you could spend time with them. Was that right?
Yeah, so my goal was that I didn't work weekends, because I was finding myself working at weekends, and as a mother, other mothers will associate with this. If I'm there on my laptop at the weekend, you kind of feel, you feel guilty. You've got that mother guilt. So my goal was not to work weekends. Actually, I kind of still do a little bit, but that's only, I shouldn't say. My goal was to not work weekends and to have a day off a week as well. So to work 4 days a week instead of 7. And also be like earning more money as well. So yeah, I got that. Like I reached that goal within less than 3 months, let's say.
Yeah. So 90 days. So now just to get a bit of clarity again for our viewers out there. So, you know, I think I trained you in November last year. Is that right?
Yeah, November. So I've been working with clients since November, and then obviously we had Christmas. So yeah, for about 4 months, 3 or 4 months now, been working with clients.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. So you've proven, I guess, to anyone watching this that, well, gee, you must have learned how to be able to get a lead, and you must have learned how to convert them into a client. Otherwise, you wouldn't have full clients now. But what's more important, if you take somebody's money, is to actually help them get results. And you've actually achieved some amazing things. So just share again just some of the improvements that you've helped some of your clients achieve, Saffron.
And I will just say as well that with my clients, I actually guaranteed my work. So I said to all of them, I work for 3 months, otherwise I'll give you your money back. Because I was so, after the training, I was so confident that I could help those businesses that I was happy to give that guarantee. And not one of them kind of asked for the money back. So yeah, it's been, yeah, I mean, the training is exceptional.
And so thank you for that, Saffron. But what is exceptional is you applying the knowledge that I gave you. And so just give us a bit of an insight, the sort of results that you've actually achieved for some of the clients, can you?
Okay, yeah, so I've written some down, get my list out. So with one of the businesses I'm working with, we've managed to increase the profits by around 20%. It's actually probably more than that, which isn't over half.
That's in 3 months, is that right, Saffron?
I think that's right, yeah. Yeah, it's probably more than that, but she hasn't worked out her figures properly. And I've helped that same client, I've helped her create and fill a workshop, which we marketed at no cost to the client. So these are all skills that I learned by doing the training and obviously the ongoing training as well. I've grown one of the clients, I've grown her list, her data 100%. We did that within about 2 weeks.
Wow.
I've built a revenue producing website, which also is a lead generating website. And again, that's from, I didn't understand really what a revenue producing website was before I did the training. So this has all come from my training. And I've helped one of the clients create and market a back-end product for residual income, and created a system with all the clients, with creating systems which improves productivity as well. And yeah, I mean, the list goes on really, but once I finished the training, I couldn't wait to start implementing what I've learned.
And you were so keen to get out the door and just start making things happening, Sarah. It was so funny to watch. But you know,
even before,
it's just great. Now, look, the end result, you wanted to, your goal was to be working 4 days a week and increase income. So have you actually about what happened to your income, Saffron?
So I actually managed to double my income by becoming a business advisor, because I implemented a lot of the strategies that I learned. I implemented those into my own business as well, into the magazine business. So I was able to increase my income for that business, and also create this brand new stream of income from being a business advisor as well.
Yeah. Well, look, Saffron, I can't thank you enough for taking time out. Here's the end result if we just look at it. Firstly, you had to have the courage to change the status quo. You had to put faith in me, and I didn't take that responsibility lightly. But then you had the courage to say, you know what, enough's enough. I didn't want to, and you were willing to do whatever it took to change that. And then you studied, you listened, you applied the knowledge, and you executed the system as I asked you to. And as a result, you now work 4 days a week instead of 6 and 7. You now have time and trouble. You also mentioned to me one of your goals was you had your eye on a nice home to buy for yourself. Is that goal starting to become a closer reality for you now, Saffron?
Yeah, I'm kind of like that goal is one of our longer term goals, because probably like in about a year's time. So that's my year goal. So now that I've reached the goals that I wanted to reach, and I actually had no idea that I would reach the goals that I set, you know, when I did my training so quickly. I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. So now I'm like, right, well, my next goal is so,
yeah, and it'll just keep growing and growing. Yeah, it's just spectacular. Well, Saffron, you are, and I mean this absolutely sincerely. Anyone that knows me knows I don't say something for the sake of saying it. You're an incredible lady. You're an inspiration. Your children are so lucky to have you as a mother. You're a spectacular businesswoman, and it's just been a joy to actually have you come into my circle of influence and know that I've helped you in some small way to get a better future and a better life and a better income, so that you can do the things that you want with your family and live the life that you want. I really do thank you again for your time joining us, and I wish you every success, and I know it's just going to get bigger and better from here, Saffron.
And I'd like to say thanks to you and your team as well, because I think, like, obviously without that support, I wouldn't be where I am now. You've got a brilliant team, and you know, and also the other advisors, they're just so supportive. I actually thought that I would come into this environment and it'd be quite competitive, but it's not like that at all. They're all just really happy to help, and always there with ideas and support and everything. So it's a really nice, you do feel like you're not on your own, you feel like you're part of that team. Yeah, I'm very grateful for that team.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, you are my family. When you're part of the Streetsmart environment, you're all my family. I love all of you, and I love seeing what happens. And there are no sharks. If I see a shark in my environment, I remove them as quickly as humanly possible. And so we're all just here to help each other, but also be street smart, because we also know there's a lot of people who will take advantage of you if you're not careful. Again, Saffron, thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope your personal journey, Saffron, and I'm hoping for some of you out there, it may give you the help or inspiration or courage for you to then go and follow your dream, believe in yourself, and make what you want to have happen in your life. Okay, till next time, guys. Bye for now.